welcome back to our series, Don't Worry About It. This series is all about how we can trust God and be filled with what? Peace. How many of you have ever felt super busy? I mean, you have schoolwork that has to be done, sports that you are involved with, friends that want you to hang out with, and lots of other things that demand your time and your attention. What are some other things that keep you super busy? It can certainly be overwhelming and stressful trying to keep up with so many things. But it is really important that we not get so busy that we become stressed and overwhelmed. In our lesson today, we are going to learn what we need to do when we become overwhelmed with stress because of our busyness. Right now, let's check out this video.
Hi, it's me, India. Welcome back to our series, Don't Worry About It. It's so cool how we have learned that God doesn't want us to be worried and anxious. He has provided so much for us to have a healthy and peaceful mind. But that doesn't mean stress won't happen. There are so many things that can cause stress in your life. Family fights can cause big stress. When a friend decides they don't want to be your friend and they turn their back on you, it can be really stressful. Not to mention all the homework, deadlines, and assignments from school. That can be a huge cause of stress. So where do you go when you're stressed? Where do you go to find peace? Some people turn to hobbies like video games to relieve stress. That's not bad, but that's not where God told us to go. Some people think if they just go to their friends and tell them all about their stress, then that will help them feel better. That's not bad, but that's not where God told us to go. There was one place God instructed us to go when we're stressed. That place is in the presence of Jesus. It's true, stress will happen, but Jesus is stronger than stress. If you spend time in His presence, He will give you peace. Today in your lesson, you're going to learn from the story of Mary and Martha, how you can come to God's presence when you feel stressed out. Until next time, I'm India reminding you, don't worry about it. See ya!
It's easy to say yes to so many things, but then we end up feeling completely overwhelmed and stressed out. When that happens, rather than become worried and anxious, we must slow down and get in God's presence. Jesus can bring rest to us when we feel stressed. You're going to learn all about that in your lesson today. But right now, we're going to find out what you gotta know.
What you gotta know, what you gotta know. Time for Boudreaux, what you gotta know. What you gotta know, what you gotta know. Time for Boudreaux, what you gotta know.
Hey everybody, my name is Boudreaux. That's pronounced Boudreaux. And I'm here to tell you what you gotta know. Today, we're learning about how Jesus can calm us when we're stressed. So every time today you hear somebody ask you what you gotta know, you tell them, I will come to God's presence when I feel stressed out. Life is full of stress. I mean, I got a whole lot of stuff to be stressed about. What if my pet gator eats his dentist? What if a meteor comes down and splashes in the swamp and gets mud all over my freshly washed truck? What if my possum pot pie turns out too garlicky? I hate garlic! Oh no! Okay. These are probably not things that stress you out, but they sure stress me out. I'm sure you got some stuff that stresses you out too. Your grades, sickness, you got some family problems, you name it. The good news is, when you're all stressed out, you can go to Jesus and He gonna help you. So every time today you hear somebody ask you what you gotta know, you tell them, I will come to God's presence when I feel stressed out. And that right there is what you gotta know. Well, I'm Boudreaux over the bayou saying, bye-bye you.
Oh, hey there, boys and girls. It's your old buddy, Kent. Kent, hear ya. I'm 86 years old, so I'm just a little bit hard of hearing. The reason I'm here today is to teach you today's power verse. Today's power verse says, Then Jesus said, Come to me, all of you who are weary and carry heavy burdens, and I will give you rest. Matthew 11:28. Well, that was a wonderful power verse, wasn't it? I tell you what I need you to do. I need you to help me say it. So I want you to stand up. There you go, stand up, and you're going to say it with me loud. Remember, I'm hard of hearing. Say it with me loud so we can get my loudometer all the way up to 10. Are you ready? Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Then Jesus said, "Come to me, all of you who are weary and carry heavy burdens, and I will give you rest." Matthew 11:28. Oh, that was pretty good. It was pretty good, but I still can't hear you. Get it? I want you to do it again, and this time we're going to get the loudometer all the way to 10. Say it loud. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Then Jesus said, "Come to me, all of you who are weary and carry heavy burdens, and I will give you rest." Matthew 11:28. Great job on the power verse. You may have a seat. Well, I've got to go find my earwax removal kit. It's going to be a long day ahead of me. Well, until next time, I can't hear you, but I'll see you later. Bye-bye.
Today's Bible story is found in the book of Luke, chapter 10. It's the story of two sisters who were very good friends with Jesus. Mary and Martha, along with their brother Lazarus, found out that Jesus was coming to visit them. When Jesus arrived, they were so excited to welcome him into their home. As you can imagine, there were a lot of things to do to get the meal together, so Martha started rushing around, cooking, cleaning, preparing. She was doing so much and moving so fast. She was stressed out big time. After a while, Martha started to notice that Mary was nowhere to be found. She was so upset when she noticed Mary in the living room with Jesus. How could she do this? Mary was not happy. While she had been stressing out, taking care of all the details, Mary was just spending time with Jesus. Martha ran into the living room and said to Jesus, "Lord, isn't it so unfair that Mary isn't here with you while I'm taking care of everything else?" Jesus said something very interesting back to her. He basically said, "Martha, you have to understand something. Mary is exactly where you need to be, with me. Instead of stressing out over all the details, you should be right here with me as well." Jesus was explaining to Martha a very important truth. It is the same truth that is found in Matthew chapter 11, verse 28. Jesus says, "Come to me, all who are weary and carry heavy burdens." Do you think that describes the way Martha was feeling? It really does, doesn't it? Well, that is not the entire verse. The entire verse says, "Come to me, all who are weary and carry heavy burdens, and I will give you rest." Today we are going to learn about how we can trust Jesus to give us rest when we are stressed by the worries of life.
One day, a woman named Martha invited Jesus to come to her house. When Jesus arrived, Martha didn't spend much time with him because she was so busy serving and working and doing chores. But Martha's sister Mary sat at Jesus' feet and listened to everything he had to say. Martha got frustrated that her sister wasn't helping her, so she went to Jesus and said, "It's not fair that my sister just sits here while I do all the work. Tell her to come and help me." But Jesus told Martha, "Martha, you are worried over too many details. There is only one thing worth being concerned about. Mary has discovered it, and it will not be taken away from her." Martha had let stress, worry, and her responsibilities distract her from spending time with Jesus. But Mary knew that peace only comes from sitting at the feet of Jesus. When we spend time with Jesus, we can find this peace too. Only when we are near him do we find healing, wholeness, and truth that the world and its worries can never take away.
Today, we've been talking about how busyness can lead to stress. In fact, many kids have so many things on their schedule that they are always feeling stressed, anxious, and worried. This is not the life that God planned for us. We should not be so overwhelmed with life that we are stressed out all of the time. But the truth is,
life is full of stress. Jesus said in John 16:33, "Here on earth, you will have many trials and sorrows." This means that there are so many things in this life that makes us feel stressed and in need of God's peace. Often just going through life and doing all the things we have to do, school, tests, sports, friends, family, causes us so much stress. Do you know what stress is? It's the feeling that there is so much to do and so many things going on in your life that you feel as if you are totally being pressed down and crushed. Pretend this tomato is you. When you're feeling stressed, it's almost as if life is pressing down on you. There are so many things to do and so much pressure that you feel like you're being crushed. Just look at these tomatoes. Some of you know exactly what I am talking about. You deal with stress all the time at school and at home. What happens when you are stressed? You get angry more, you complain more, and most of the time, you are so tired. It is a lot like Martha felt in our Bible story. She was so focused on all the stuff she needed to do that she felt completely stressed out. She forgot about spending time with Jesus. God does not want us to live our lives completely stressed out and overwhelmed. If you follow God closely, you don't have to be stressed out all the time about the things of this life. Why? Because
Jesus is stronger than the stress. It's true. Jesus already conquered all of the trouble and stress of this life. How do we know this? The rest of John 16:33 says, "I have told you these things so that you may have peace in me. Here on earth, you will have many trials and sorrows, but take heart, because I have overcome the world." Jesus is so much stronger than the stress of this life. You see, kids, if we try to take care of all of the stress of tests, quizzes, pressures, sports, family, and friends all by ourselves, we will end up hurting ourselves. How much do you think this glass of water weighs? Well, the truth is that when you hold this simple glass of water for about 5 minutes, it doesn't seem like a big deal. But if you try to hold it for an hour, your arms are gonna start to get a little sore. And if you try to hold it for 3 hours, you will start to really hurt. If you tried to hold it all day long, you might need to call an ambulance. However, if you set it down for a while and rest it and then come back and pick it up, it doesn't seem so heavy. If you try to hold up all the stress of life by yourself, you can do a lot of harm. So, how should we handle it?
When you're feeling stressed, come to Jesus. Our power verse says it best. Come to me, all of you who are weary and carry heavy burdens, and I will give you rest. Jesus says that when you are stressed and feel worn down by the pressure and stress of life, come to him. If you come to him, he will give you rest. He can give you the peace you need to make it through the stress. It's just like our glass of water. When you put it down and come back to it, you can carry it for so much longer than if you tried to keep going without stopping. Jesus said, if we just stop, come to him, and allow him to give us rest, we will be able to handle the stress of life so much better. So, today, many of you are stressed. You have been feeling like that tomato, crushed. You may feel like Martha, worried about all the things you have to do, what people are thinking about you, and other things. Well, today, we are going to do exactly what our power verse says. We are going to come to Jesus, spend time in his presence, and ask him for rest. Today, allow his peace to fill your life so you can leave worry behind.
Then Jesus said, "Come to me, all of you who are weary and carry heavy burdens, and I will give you rest." Matthew 11:28.
Hey, welcome back to our review. Today specifically, we have a nice crowd here, and we're gonna have these gentlemen versus these ladies in our review questions. So stick along and see if you can
Stick along.
and see if you can answer the questions too. Okay, ready?
So ready.
Here's the first one. What you gotta know today?
I will come to God's presence when I feel stressed out.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Correct. That was great. Good job. Okay, our next question is this. Does God want us to live stressed out?
No.
The answer is no. Correct. Who were the sisters in our Bible story today?
Mary and Martha.
You went too soon!
Okay.
Wait till she finishes reading the question.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Okay. Which sister was focused on doing?
Martha.
Okay, good job. Correct. Where was Mary while Martha was working?
She was around.
She was spending time with Jesus.
I'm gonna give this to the girls. That one didn't work out. Okay. According to our lesson, life is full of blank.
Surprises?
No, but it does start with an S. Do you know it? Stress.
Stress, yeah.
It is stress. According to our lesson today, Jesus is blank, then the stress.
Greater?
Something like that.
Stronger.
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 Boys, get the point.
Oh.
Okay. According to our lesson, when you're feeling stressed, come to blank.
God.
With
that stress.
Yes.
Christ. Jesus.
Yes, Jesus. Okay, are you sticking with us? Are you doing good? Okay, cool. True or false? Ready for it? We should never try to carry our stress all alone.
Oh, she got it.
I got it first.
Okay.
I got it first.
Yeah.
Can you repeat the question?
I can answer it.
True.
It's not true.
It's not true.
It's false.
Oh.
It's false.
It's false. We should never try to carry our stress all alone.
Yeah.
True.
Oh, so
Right. Oh, dang it. I heard it the other way, too.
Okay, last
point.
That's why I just want to
question.
rehear it.
I don't know who won. Like, who got that?
We got the point.
I don't know.
It was the boys.
We got the
Well,
point.
okay, maybe it was the boys. Maybe it was.
I think half
Where was our power verse found?
Matthew 11:28.
That is correct.
Yeah.
Okay, I totally lost count. Who won? Was it the boys?
Yes.
Or was it the girls?
It was the girls.
Or maybe was it you? All right, thanks for watching our review. We'll see you next time.
What you gotta know?
I'm so glad we got to really check in and see the story of Martha and Mary. And when it comes to worrying, I mean, this series has been good and actually great so far. So stick with us because we've already learned 3 lessons, but we're not done yet. So come back next week because you don't need to worry about it.